All right, I'm going to get started here in just a few seconds. Should be about time to go to bed, but I wanted to go ahead and share a few things here. All right, I am going to get started. Okay, so welcome out there, folks, to another edition of the Page Turner. I'm your host, Nate Turner, and I am here so we can write your next chapter together. So, I'm watching YouTube, right? The other day, I'm actually watching on TV, right? It's looking at YouTube on TV, and for some reason Beyonce was on, and so as I'm just sort of listening, I'm doing some other stuff on the computer, right? But Beyonce is on, so they keep playing songs over and over again, and they get to this song, right, where it's somebody on an award show or something like that, and they're singing a Donnie Hathaway song, right? Someone sings his song called "A Song for You," and it's by Donnie Hathaway. So I'm listening. I'm like, it's okay, but when you hear something, it's kind of like Stevie Wonder. You hear something by Donnie Hathaway, and somebody else is trying to sing it, then you say, maybe I want to hear the live. I want to hear the regular version from Donnie Hathaway. So I say, Alexa, I say, play "A Song for You" by Donnie Hathaway. And so, I got to be specific because sometimes when you say "A Song for You" or some other song, Alexa might play somebody else's version. So I got to be specific. Maybe Alexa needs to understand that I'm a black man and, I want to hear the Donnie Hathaway version. So anyway, so Alexa plays Donnie Hathaway, "A Song for You," right? So I'm listening, I'm enjoying, I'm having a good time, and then that song goes off, and Alexa says, you might want to listen, you might enjoy the live version of "A Song for You." And I was thinking, you know what? I said, Alexa, play the live version of "A Song for You" by Donnie Hathaway. So she plays the live version, right? And I'm listening to it, I'm listening, and Donnie is singing, and he's singing, and he gets to, where in the song he hits this note, right? And in the regular version, the album version, he just sort of sings through the note. But in the live version, he rolled that note on, and it must have been like a few ladies in the front row because you can hear him on the mic. It was like, woo, woo! Like, man, I was like, he rolling that note, and the ladies are enjoying it. So he's like outperforming the album version, right? Because he's doing the live, he's just straight outperforming. So I enjoyed that, and then I went on to my other favorite Donnie Hathaway song, which is "I Love You More Than You'll Ever Know." But before I get to that, I'm going to talk about Apple a little bit. So I just want to kind of switch gears with that. And so I will say this, when I start talking about the stock market, right? I'm not the finance expert, but I tell you, I'm going to do it for your listening pleasure, your entertainment pleasure purposes, or however you call it, but I do kind of know a little bit. So, if anybody's been paying attention, right, over the last, I think it was Thursday or sometime last week, Apple reported their earnings, right? I think it was Q3 earnings, and the earnings report just like were phenomenal. Just blew every estimate out of the water, right? So Apple's just outperforming. I mean, you look at it, and it's like, nowadays, and I had to think about myself, right? Like I'm a tech guy, so my thing right now, I get to talk about tech and money, so that's pretty good for me. So I'm talking about Apple, right? And because I'm a tech guy, I don't really have like a lot of Apple products that I use, but within my household, I look around and I swear I got at least a good 20 plus Apple devices all up in here. I got every kind of iPhone. I got iPads from whatever generations. I got MacBook Airs, MacBook Pros, iMacs. I got like all this stuff. And some of you all out there, I know you got iPhone galore, all these other, Apple products out there, right? So we're all invested in buying Apple products. But what about the stock? Are you investing and are you making money? Is your iPhone actually making money for you, right? So that's the one thing you got to be thinking about. So the earnings report was great. We go through a time right now where we're in a pandemic and you're thinking, well, people don't really have, a lot of money or, they're doing this and that. And, I see today reports come out about some of the clothing retailers that are filing for bankruptcy and things like that. But the tech stocks, especially Apple, I mean, just literally blowing, out of the water. So what's going on? So they have these earnings reports come out. They're doing so well. They're doing so well that they're offering a 4-for-1 stock split, right? So I want to talk about what that means and just kind of how you can benefit from something like that. So when we talk about a stock split, right? Let's just use this actual example. Apple does a 4-for-1 stock split. What it means is that, let's say that you have a cake. It's maybe a big round cake, and you slice that cake into 4 big pieces, right? Now, you still have one cake there, but it's now just sliced into 4 pieces. So when you have a 4-for-1 stock split, you have, let's say Apple is trading at $400 right now, which it's around that. It's a little bit more now, but let's just use 400 because that's a nice even number, and we don't have to really think too much. And it's late. So let's say, it's trading at 400. You got one whole share of Apple. They do a 4-for-1 stock split. That now means that you have 4 shares of Apple, but each one of the shares is now $100. So you go from having one share at 400 to 4 shares at 100. So basically, you added 3 more shares to what you had. So what's important about that is this. Now when you think about the average investor, we think, well, man, $400 a share. I don't know if I could really afford that. Well, you can if you wanted to. If you wanted to at least buy one share, you could do that. But here's the thing. Now, if the share is $100, maybe you're more apt to go out and buy one share. Or maybe you're just apt to go out and buy 4 or 5 shares. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is this. Apple's doing well. With the stock split, you want to look at whether you want to invest before the split, which is going to take place at the end of the month. At the end, this is August, so at the end of August 2020, it's going to be taking place. You want to figure out, well, should I invest now or after the split, right? Because then it'll be a little bit less. Well, I mean, they've been doing so well, you really have to figure everybody's taking a look at Apple right now. So there's going to be a run up to when the stock splits. So the price is going to increase. If I'm talking about me personally, I will be investing prior to the split because there's going to be a lot going on with Apple in the coming months. And whether you invest before or after, it may not make a big difference, but you always want to buy low, sell high. So if you can get it for a good price now and it splits, and generally what Apple has done with the splits that they've had in the past, within the next 12 months or so, they generally go on an upward trend. And so let's just say, you're able to get into Apple and, over the next 12 months, your shares increased by a third, right? I mean, that's at least a third that you've been able to profit from just with the run up at Apple. And think about all the folks, all the big name folks who are going to be looking to invest money in something that's a sure thing as well. So the more people invest, then the higher the stock goes. So then now everybody's investing and the stock price is going up and up. So you want to just think about that and just take a look at Apple because right now it could be a time that you could profit big. Now, I do a lot of things with options trading, so I'm able to make a little bit of money with options as well. And so just really from a general stock trading standpoint, you just want to look at just buying shares of Apple and you can definitely profit from that. So I want to get back to Donnie Hathaway again. So my song, I Love You More Than You'll Ever Know, right? So then I'm listening to that and that song comes on. So at some point, the song, if you know the song, it just kind of builds up to a certain momentum to where the music cuts out and then the guitar, it comes back in and he says, I'm only flesh and blood, but I can be anything that you demand. I can be king of everything or even a tiny grain of sand. Now, I'm listening to the song and right now I'm really getting something from that. I listen and sometimes, when you hear a song another time, you just really get something different from it. So I'm listening to it and I'm like, you know what? That's mindset. That's what we're talking about all the time when it comes to changing your mindset. He literally said, look, I'm only flesh and blood. He's saying, look, I'm just human. I'm just me, I'm just human. But you know what I can do? I can make myself be king of everything. So it literally, he's saying that I can do whatever it is that I set my mind to do. And that's what he's actually saying. Or that's what I heard him say. Or in contrast, be as tiny as a grain of sand. Meaning, look, he can make himself be that too. But it sounded so much better to me when he said I could be king of everything. And I'm thinking that's really the mindset that we gotta have, that we can make ourselves be whoever it is that we want to be. And that could be king or queen. So just think about that, folks. I mean, we can be king or queen of anything that we set our minds to doing. So you got to remember that. You got to keep yourself in a positive mindset. You got to keep yourself moving forward. You got to keep doing what you got to do to make it happen each and every day out here in that grind. I'm telling you, you can do it. Put your mind to it, and I'll see you at the top. Folks, this is another edition of the Page Turner. I'm your host, Nate Turner, and I am here so we can write the next chapter together. Let's go!